Put together a little video here, kind of a shop update video. I was able to purchase a new lathe. I got it off of Craigslist, fairly cheap. It's a fairly big lathe. It's got a 16-inch throw on it, and the guy advertised it as a 6 foot between centers, but it's not real. I don't think it really is. After measuring it, I think it's probably more like 5 foot between centers. But it's a fairly big lathe. New to me, as you will see in the video, is not new. I haven't had time to get numbers off of it, do any research on it, but I'm going to say the lathe is probably 30s, 40s vintage. But as you can see behind me, I have cleared out some spot for it. My only issue is getting it into the shop right now. So it's on my trailer. I just got to get it into the shop, and I will show you the issues with that in the video. So here we go. Just shooting a little video here. I'm cleaning out some space by my vertical mill. I've still got to move this rack of blocks, jacks, angle plates, stuff like that, V-blocks. I'm gonna move that rack probably over here, put it over in here, and I've just kind of moved some lumber that I had down closer to where the saw and the saw bench is. The reason why I'm cleaning this out is because I bought something. It's out here on the trailer. And this is it. Now, it's an American lathe. The guy said it was 6 feet between centers. I don't think it's really 6 feet between centers, or maybe 5. But I picked this thing up yesterday, and one of the cool things about it's got a taper attachment on the back of it. So I picked this thing up yesterday, and I brought it back to the shop here, and I was gonna unload it, and what I have is this tow motor forklift truck, and the capacity of it is 2,700 pounds, and it won't touch that lathe. Won't even begin to pick it up. Well, it de-weights the springs on the trailer a little bit, but it will not pick it up. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to get it off. So what I'm going to do is just park the trailer down there. I'm going to tarp the machine. The machine came from a farmer, and he raises beef cattle, but his father owned the machine, grandfather owned the machine. I forgot which one it was, father or grandfather. But he used to make taper pins. He said he used to run this lathe when he was like 16, 17 years old, and he made taper pins for concrete forms, for forming holes through concrete vaults and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, I've got some stuff that I've got to do. I've got to really figure out how I'm going to get it in there, get it back in there. And being that heavy, originally I was going to just kind of set it out here, clean it up, fix it up, and then move it back there, thinking that I could lift it with this forklift truck. And, you know, I got to tell you, I knew it was heavy, but I didn't really think it was that heavy. But I've got to, now I'm going to have to put it in place. I'll put it in place back where I'm going to set it back by the vertical mill, and kind of clean it up and probably repaint it and rebuild it a little bit. Back then, one of the kind of the cool things is that 3-jaw chuck that's in it is a normal 3-jaw chuck. In other words, the 3 jaws work in conjunction, or there's a place on it where you can actually work the 3 jaws independently, kind of like a 4-jaw chuck. So I got that, and then I got some, he did have a 4-jaw chuck with it, and had that 4-jaw chuck with it. It's got to be cleaned up, and then there's some old style tooling that goes with it. I'm gonna have to get it in the shop. One of my biggest concern right now is getting it in the shop, and then I'll figure out what it was. I got the thing pretty cheap, so I just wanted to get it back here, and then I can figure out, you know, maybe I can get a some kind of a quick change tool holder that goes on it. You know, maybe get some tooling that's got inserts in it instead of old grind your own type of tooling. So but anyways, you know, I'm gonna throw this clip into the video with about the lathe and stuff. That lathe has a old candlestick holder. Used to use old tool steel cutting bits, and I've had this laying around the shop. This stuff laying around the shop for probably a year now. I went to an estate sale one time, and it was an old shop teacher that had passed away. He was 104 when he passed away too, but he had a ranch nap. It was a Cape Cod style house, and I got to tell you, I went down to the basement. I went on a Sunday, the second day of the estate sale, which usually everything's been picked over. I went down to the basement, and I just couldn't believe the amount of stuff that was down there, packed into this basement, machining parts. And the guy was into photography and other things too. He built little wood toys, those puzzle toys where you put the pieces of wood together and it makes something. But anyways, I regressed and got off point. I knew that from the amount of stuff, I bought some stuff on Sunday, not a lot of stuff, but some stuff. And I knew that there was absolutely no way in the world they were ever going to sell all of this stuff, because it was kind of a late on a Sunday afternoon when I went to this thing, and the place was still packed with just stuff. Books and drawers full of drill bits and everything. So I said to the woman, when I bought my stuff on Sunday afternoon, I gave her my phone number and I says, listen, I know that you're never going to sell this stuff, so if you want to get rid of it, give me a call. And probably about 3 weeks later, this woman called me and said that she had to clean the house out, and if I was interested to come up and take a look and make an offer on it. So I went up and made an offer, and got the stuff, and 5 pickup truck loads later, I was actually able to clear most of it out for her because she was selling the house also. So what I'm trying to say here is I have a bunch of tool steel. I have a bunch of things. A tapered dog holder, I think it is, and dogs, and just tons and tons of tool steel. I've got this old cutter, and it's got a carbide insert in it, but I don't, I have never seen a carbide insert kind of like that before. It's a stepped carbide insert, and this tool holder looks really old. So, but anyways, I've got just tons of stuff, tool steel, for that I can use on that machine. So I was going to try and get rid of this stuff before. Now, after getting the lathe, I'm kind of glad I didn't. So I'm going to go through it, see what I need. If anybody is watching this video and has got any of this, I'm going to keep I've got a couple of these chucks. I'm going to keep one of them to build a welding turntable type of thing. But if anybody's watching this video and sees anything here that they really want, just leave a message, and if I don't need it, maybe we make a deal or something. So I've got to clean this area out, get it in there, and then I'll probably videotape how I'm going to unload it. I'm probably right at this point, it looks like I might have to rent a bigger forklift truck and have it brought over here. I could have probably rented. The guy had an articulating loader that we loaded it onto the trailer with, and I got to tell you, I really didn't think it was that heavy. I thought there would be no issue at all getting the thing off with the forklift truck, or it's not my forklift truck, belongs to my landlord, but I thought there'd be no problem at all getting it off with it. Boy, was I shocked when it wouldn't even touch it. Well, it de-weighted the springs a little bit, but wouldn't lift it off the bed of the trailer. Now I could probably talk that guy into letting me borrow that articulating loader, but the problem is I can't get it onto my trailer because the lathe is sitting on there. So I'm probably going to end up renting a forklift truck, having it delivered here, and I'll bring that lathe in and set it in here, and I guess having to run a forklift truck for a day isn't that big of a deal, but I kind of really thought I could get it off with that truck that I had, but such is life. I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm kind of reshooting some of this video. After downloading the footage that I had taken earlier, kind of realized that I cut most of the machine off in it. So here is kind of a overall picture of it. just kind of wanted to get some shots of it so that you guys would get a better view of it. Let me get up on the trailer and I'll get you some better closer shots. Kind of funny, this little dog was laying up here, so wonder it didn't fall off. The same way with this, looks like an old gouging chisel. I wonder if somebody was turning wood on this machine at one time. Not sure if there was a gear cover that went over that. Have to find out. The back of the thing, it looks like there was a almost looks like that square spot down there. Looks like there might have been a nameplate or something on it. Kind of the old candlestick tool post. Have to see if I can maybe adapt up something. Shim in that. Wonder if that, or it's lucky that didn't fall out too. Anyways, I'll get it in, clean it up, start going through it. I think I'm gonna grab a tarp and maybe put over it. Not that it hasn't already probably seen some weather. Again, he pulled it out of the barn and it was sitting outside when I saw it. So, but given the amount of grease and like dirt and stuff on it, it couldn't have seen too much rain or anything. So I'm gonna get a tarp put up over it, and then I'll probably won't show it until I figure out how I'm gonna get it unloaded and get it back into the shop. This is kind of a little bit of a shop update. I'm going to throw a clip in here too of some metal material that I've got, some tube steel, small pieces of, it is small I-beam, small pieces of an I-beam, and some other material, some angle iron that I bought to complete the K&T Tool Stand. So I'm going to throw that in here too, as long as we're on a shop update about the lathe and stuff. So that'll be coming in here too. Just a little shot here. This is some material that I picked up to finish the K&T stand for the heads. There's a plate with them welded on. Got some stuff that I've got to do, but I wanted to get down today and pick up some material to start completing this thing. It's kind of been sitting around the shop for a month or so, not getting done, so got some material and I'm going to start that. Be posting a video. I think I started posting a video on it, on getting these things welded on there, but I'll start posting a video of the build completion